Among the rocks of Mars, former NASA employee told of the alien smartphone device delivered from Mars. From time to time, former military personnel, employees of the CIA of the United States, KGB of Russia, NASA, and other well known agencies and organizations share information. In 2018, Jim Courtney, who worked at NASA from 1984 to 2016, spoke about the details of the secret mission to Mars. Allegedly, he himself was among those who prepared this flight, and it went well, he said. Everything sounds science fiction, but as always, there could be elements of truth in this revelation. In 2009, Opportunity sent another batch of photographs to Earth in which the agency's researchers discovered artifacts knocking out of the landscape. They looked like layers of black material with symbols applied to them, which periodically faded and then lit up in green. A special commission considered that for the first time in the history of the study of Mars, a physical object with a technical function of Martian civilization was discovered. Fearing that it might fall into the hands of the Chinese or Russians, NASA quickly modified the next rover model. The carrying capacity was increased, tools for field work were added, a new information system with additional functionality was programmed, and most importantly, the possibility of launching from the Martian surface to return to Earth was planned. According to Jim Courtney, not everything went smoothly. Instead of the 3 found articles, only 1 was delivered to Earth. The automated modernized rover did not fully cope with the task, and further flights to the area did not find the mysterious objects. Perhaps someone overtook NASA, and perhaps they are not even humans. And at the research center, attempts were made to study the delivered artifact. It turned out that this is an analog of our smartphones, only created from minerals on unknown principles of energy generation. Apparently, the device was defective but still released energy. It was also not possible to establish by what process itself produced the energy necessary to provide elementary functions. Now, Jim stated that, in his opinion, it's some kind of transmitter or black box analog. It's clear that some information is recorded on the device, but the current level of human development does not allow us to realize and understand the principles of its operation in a completely different level of development. Based on the known data, the main conclusion can be drawn: extraterrestrial technologies and accordingly civilizations exist. At the end of this message, Courtney noted that only those pictures that pass through several levels of protection and authorization reach the average man on the street. All images having traces of the ancient Martian civilization or modern UFOs are classified. The situation is similar with the lunar program. Real images from the surface of these bodies, these planets, were seen by only a limited number of people closest to the employees of the respective missions. As for supposedly archival photographs, all these are artificially created compositions on the concept and nothing more. Humanity is not yet ready for the truth, so it will be better for everyone if the Moon and Mars are considered uninhabited. Life has already been found on Mars, but we're allegedly not ready for such an information yet. In 2019, retired NASA scientist Dr. Jim Green made several controversial claims. He stated that the European Space Agency has already found evidence of extraterrestrial life on Mars. Dr. Green is convinced that humanity as we know it today is not ready for such information. NASA has been looking for extraterrestrial life for a long time. Moreover, the space agency has never denied it, and this is enough to discuss the possibility of the existence of living beings outside the Earth in any form, micro or macro. Controversy arose when retired NASA chief scientist James Green spoke about Mars and extraterrestrial life some years ago. You should know that NASA has acknowledged the possibility of alien interference in the history of the Earth. In 2014, a NASA-edited book titled Archaeology, Anthropology, and Interstellar Space was published, which explores extraterrestrial intervention in human history. It notes the possibility that some of the rock art on Earth may be of extraterrestrial origin. In addition, in terms of facts, it will take only 10,000 years for the human presence on the planet to disappear, which is so short compared to the age of the Earth. If a civilization like ours already existed, the traces of it would not be so obvious except for individual artifacts, which is the case, given that more than 4 billion years of the Earth's existence represents a fairly wide range for the evolution and destruction of intelligent life. In the summer of 2020, two NASA and European Space Agency ESA rovers traveled to Mars to drill horizontal sections into rock in the surface, hoping to find evidence of living organisms. Then Dr. Green assured that evidence of extraterrestrial life on Mars would be obtained at the latest in the mid-2021, but it will take humanity much longer to come to terms with the fact that life does exist outside the Earth. So it's now 2024, but NASA has not yet announced life on Mars. What could be the reason for this? Either it really has not yet been found, which is extremely doubtful, or scientists do not dare to talk about it, which is more likely. Earth-like life can exist on Mars and on Venus and on the satellites of Jupiter and Saturn, but under the surface, which does not contradict the latest data. Moreover, intelligent life under these conditions is not completely excluded. Hypothetically, if we take, for example, Mars, then in the distant past there were conditions on the surface similar to those on Earth. Now imagine that an interplanetary type of conflict has occurred, the atmosphere destroyed, the soil is contaminated, the survivors have adapted to life below the surface. And we do have rover sounds from Mars having a very strange wind type of a sound, a metallic wind. Where is that coming from? Now, having changed over millions of years but retained the memory of the catastrophe, will they yell at the entire solar system saying that here we are alive, come and get acquainted? No, of course, they will keep quiet and watch. While watching the aggressive, hypothetical, hypocritical humanity which proclaims love for one's neighbor and warm care for nature, but in fact it does not stop fighting and pollutes the environment, they will be very careful. And there are fears that in the event of an armed expansion into space, humanity will be simply knocking off its horns, not out of malice, but simply out of the instinct of self-preservation, at best isolated, and this seems to be happening, judging by the false impression that we are alone in the universe. It's just that a dangerous, aggressive, mentally ill subject is supposed to be isolated. And this is on Soul Ask. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.